statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation for when you don't. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition. Welcome to the show.
Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. And you are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition and not CNN or some other show. People surf the radio, they surf their computer, iPhone, tablet, whatever, and get emails. People come across the show accidentally. If that happened to you today, don't change the dial. Stick around. Stephen's in. Josh is here. You're there. I'm here. We're ready to go. Dr. Michael Lewis will be along, and we'll talk with Dr. Lewis. We'll see what's on Dr. Lewis's mind. And as I always do, if you're new to the show, I open with a monologue talking about stories and studies that are trending that could be of some relevance to you, or if not, in terms of your health and wellness, or just striking up your curiosity. You want to talk to me? You know, you're looking at me like you want to talk to me. You want to talk to me?
No.
Are you sure? Then why are you looking at me like that?
I was hoping to get your attention.
Well, you want to talk to me. Talk to me. You don't have to be discreet. Tell me, what do you want?
It's embarrassing.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
All right. You forgot your name?
Yeah. We'll say that's what it was.
Okay. You can talk on the show. You're allowed to pick up a mic.
I know.
Just pick it up and talk to me. Stephen does. He does.
He sounds 50 times more intelligent than I do.
Well, you think, I don't know. Maybe he does. Hi, Stephen.
Gentlemen.
How are you?
See?
Not bad.
Smartest thing he said
I'm wearing a monocle, too, just to spice it up.
Oh, yeah. So, as I was saying, if you're new to the show, open with a monologue talking about stories and studies, a trend that may help you with your health in some form or fashion, or if nothing else, just they're interesting. They're maybe a curious or odd feature to the story. So that's what we do around here. That's my typical, or I'll open with a commentary about something, and it's a rhetorically organized rant. You like that? But not today. On this show, I talk about aging successfully, and I operationalize that by saying, living a long life with quality of life. Longevity is on the minds of many people. Years ago, I was sort of fixated on longevity, and as the more I learned my coursework and doing the show, producing the show, I took on a different point of view. I think it's more about quality of life. And if you focus on quality of life, my belief is that longevity will come, but not necessarily the other way around. I think longevity, just focusing on longevity, takes your eye off the ball. Well, this story sort of relates to that. And the headline on the story was, life expectancy climbs worldwide. And I'll save the rest of the headline because I don't want to give the punchline away. But it turns out that global life expectancy has been on the rise and has risen more than 6 years since 1990. Now, in any world of science, when you have that kind of increase, that's significant, statistically and otherwise. And as they said, the life expectancy has risen by more than 6 years since 1990 as healthy life expectancy grows. Now, it turns out, though, that ischemic heart disease, lower respiratory infections, and stroke cause they account for most of the variance in health loss around the world. I'll repeat that list. Ischemic heart disease, lower respiratory infections, and stroke. Also turns out that people are living longer around the world, even in some of the poorest countries. But they said in the press release on the study, but a complex mix of fatal and non-fatal ailments causes a tremendous amount of health loss. And this study implicated an analysis of all major diseases and injuries in 188 countries. Now, this business of longevity increasing is a little misleading because you're probably thinking, well, people are living a lot more healthy. Well, maybe they are to some extent, but these declines in death and illness are attributed to better results with HIV, AIDS, and malaria, and those two issues or health conditions caused in the past decade most of the death and illness in some of these countries. And so they've improved. Therefore, longevity has increased globally. And it's not to say, it turns out too, and I've reported on this before, that life expectancy, while increasing, it doesn't necessarily mean that quality of life is commensurate with it. Not necessarily, in that morbidity still abounds. There's a lot of morbidity. People are living longer, but they're living longer with more morbidity. Medical science, better treatments, and so on are keeping people alive. Pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals and better doctors, better health care, keeping people alive who are sick. They reported that global life expectancy at birth for both genders rose by 6.2 years. Okay, this is good. I was looking for a quote. They said that for most countries, changes in health life expectancy for males and females between 1990 and 2013 were significant and positive. But in dozens of countries, I'm quoting, including Botswana, Belize, Syria, healthy life expectancy in 2013 was not significantly higher than in 1990. They continued. In some of those countries, including South Africa, Paraguay, and Belarus, I have listeners in Belarus, by the way, healthy life expectancy has actually dropped since 1990. People born in Lesotho and Swaziland in 2013 could expect, they said, to live at least 10 fewer years in good health than people born in those countries 2 decades earlier. So you see, when you see that headline, it's somewhat misleading. Yes, life expectancy has increased across the globe, and for good reason. There's better treatment and less death and morbidity associated with HIV, AIDS, better approach to malaria, and those kinds of health conditions. But one should not necessarily assume that people are behaving in a more healthy way. Not necessarily. And such is the case in our country. Average life expectancy is 78 years. People are living longer, no doubt. And if you think we don't make the top 10 of countries with the highest life expectancy, healthy life expectancy, and neither do we make the bottom either. CIA World Factbook, I think, has us ranked about 50th, somewhere in there. You got the United Nations, and you got some other organizations that do those kind of ratings. We're not at the top. Room for improvement.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971. And we believe integrity should always be our number one ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust.
Coenzyme Q10 is a powerful antioxidant nutrient. It protects against free radical damage, supports heart function, energy production, and immune response. Aging reduces our ability to absorb CoQ10 from our diet, so supplementing with a highly absorbable form of CoQ10 is the first step to ensuring optimal levels in the body. Secondly, typical CoQ10 supplements are in a ubiquinone or non-reduced form. For the body to use that type of CoQ10, it must first convert it to ubiquinol or the reduced form. QH Absorb is Jarrow Formula's highly absorbable and bioavailable CoQ10 supplement. Not only is QH Absorb more absorbable than traditional CoQ10 supplements, but as ubiquinol, it's already in a reduced bioavailable form. Your body can use QH Absorb without having to do any conversion work. Ask specifically for Jarrow Formula's QH Absorb at your favorite vitamin retailer. For more information on QH Absorb, go to jarrow.com. That's JARROW for the best and highly absorbable bioavailable CoQ10 supplements.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Murray with a minute of important health news. One of my all-time favorite natural products is a special extract of licorice known as DGL. DGL is short for deglycyrrhizated licorice, but I tell my patients that it stands for darn good licorice. DGL is made by removing the compound in licorice that can raise blood pressure in some people. Double-blind clinical studies have shown DGL is quite useful in healing stomach and intestinal ulcers. In fact, in head-to-head studies, it has actually outperformed popular anti-ulcer drugs. But rather than inhibit the release of stomach acid, DGL stimulates the normal defense mechanisms that prevent ulcer formation and promote healing. Clinical studies have not only shown DGL to be extremely effective, but also that it is completely without side effects. Clearly, DGL is a better choice.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nutrix Hawaii. More nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Now Foods. Our products work. Garden of Life, empowering extraordinary health. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Flexin, the joint health experts. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Just reporting on a study that's trending today about life expectancy worldwide, and it has increased. All right, I guess that's good news. If you're interested in the way I explained it, though, that headline's a bit misleading, as I explained. If you're interested in knowing which countries with the highest healthy life expectancy are for both sexes, they are in this order, the top 10. Japan, number 1. Singapore, Andorra, Iceland at number 4. Cyprus, Israel, France at number 7. Italy at 8. South Korea, and Canada. We're nowhere to be found. Dr. Michael Lewis will be my guest. I want to bring him on here in a second. Before we go there and talk with Dr. Lewis, there's another study that's trending. I want to bring some attention to it because I think the headline, again, is misleading, and then I'll give you my point of view about it. They said that shift focus from calorie counting to nutritional values for heart health. Okay, that sounds like a reasonable thing to do. And it was published in an online journal called Open Heart. Doctors Malhorta and Di Nicolantonio make the argument that it's time to stop counting the calories and instead start promoting the nutritional value of foods if, in fact, there's going to be some real attempt to cut illness and death from cardiovascular disease and curb, they argue, the rising tide of obesity. So they're saying stop counting the calories and focus on nutritional values of foods. If they say, for example, boosting omega-3 fatty acid from fish, olive oil, and nut intake have all been correlated with reductions in death from all causes and from cardiovascular disease within months, these two doctors contend. I have no issue with that. This point about do you count the calories or do you focus on the nutritional value? I don't know why those two things have to be mutually exclusive, and they're not. My approach is you have to be mindful of the calories and you have to be mindful of the nutritional value of food. It's not one or the other, it's both. Not focusing on calories is like a deep sea diver not paying attention to the amount of oxygen in the tank. It's critical. I know it's tedious, but so is keeping track of nutritional values tedious. It's not one or the other, it's both. And I don't know why they keep wanting to dichotomize it like that. You have to know, even when you're eating healthy foods, you can gain weight eating healthy food. You can become obese doing that. It's not just avoiding cookies, crackers, cakes, chips, and colas. It's how much, it's quality and quantity. It's both. I'm sorry, if that makes it a little too hard or makes it more complex, I don't know what to say about that. I think they have, their point, I get what they're trying to do, and I'll quote them. Shifting the focus away from calories and emphasizing a dietary pattern that focuses on food quality rather than quantity will help to rapidly reduce the obesity, related diseases, and cardiovascular risk. Close quote. They're dreaming. That's not true, in my opinion. Rapidly reduce obesity? Listen, some of the best experts in the world, some of the best minds in nutrition and health are trying to figure out a way to get our population, which is at 68% to be overweight or obese, to do better, and we're not making it. Rapidly reduce? I don't think so. just focusing on nutrition. If it were only that easy. It's not that easy. And forget about overweight or obesity. Just to stay healthy takes considerable time, effort, thought, and insight. That's the truth. I could say I wish it were easy to stay healthy. It's not so easy. I'm again reminded of Bertrand Russell's quote, "I would rather be mad with the truth than sane with lies." Close quote. My guest is Dr. Michael Lewis. Dr. Lewis has been on my show before. Dr. Lewis has an impressive background. I could spend the next 20 minutes telling you about his credentials. I've done that on a number of shows. Suffice it to say that currently one of the things that he does, and I'll get him to tell you about his one project he has, his website and this and that. We'll get to that. But he is an educator for Cannavest and spokesperson. He's colleagues with Stuart Tomk, who heads up the nutrition division at Cannavest. And Cannavest is an interesting company. Dr. Lewis, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Hi, Doctor.
Hey, Dr. Garko. It's great to be with you again today.
How are you?
I'm doing super. How are you doing?
All things considered, okay.
You brought up some great introductions with your, pulling some of the stuff, the studies and longevity and stuff like that. I just got to make one really quick comment about the longevity thing.
Okay, when we come back,
Okay.
I'll give you that up. I'm glad that you want to do that because I was going to implicate you whether you wanted to or not into those stories and study because I know you're thoughtful. We're going to go into some messages, come back. If you're not familiar with Dr. Lewis, stay tuned. You'll find him to be very interesting, insightful, has a lot of experience, and just tremendous a guest, one of my favorite people to have on the show. You'll see why. We'll be back, 877-897-8255. That will connect you to Let's Talk Nutrition. Be right back.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit TakeSolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Over the past 60 years, I have prescribed and been introduced to countless health therapies from around the world. I formulated Medi-C Plus, a natural remedy with high amounts of vitamin C and lysine for maintaining strong bones, cartilage, teeth, and gums, and aiding in collagen formation. Now in my 90s, Medi-C Plus is my insurance for the maintenance of good health. Make Medi-C Plus a part of your daily health routine too.
Available at health food stores and specialty pharmacies.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Renew Life, the digestive care company. NeoCell, the true science of collagen. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. 877-897-8255. 877-897-TALK. Dr. Michael Lewis is my guest. And I'll tell you a little bit about Dr. Lewis in a second. I want him to finish his thought. He wanted to comment on a couple of stories and studies that I reported on that are trending. Dr. Lewis, welcome back. So I reported on longevity, and then I reported on that study where these researchers and these physicians are making the argument that forget about the calories, for focus on the nutritional value of foods. I'm saying they're not mutually exclusive, and you should focus on both. Let's see what you have to think about both of those stories. What did you want to say about the longevity study?
Well, the problem with your commercial breaks is that you come up with like 35 more things to think about and talk about. But my initial thought was the one thing that gets overlooked with these longevity studies is most of mortality happens in the first 2 years of life. And so the idea of immunizations and better obstetric care and infant mortality has a huge influence on how long a population lives, and that's not typically discussed at all. What would be much more interesting is there's studies out there that look at what is the longevity of life after the age of, say, 20 or after the age of 60. And those statistics haven't really changed much at all over the years.
Yeah, when one in the year 1900, Dr. Lewis, I think average life expectancy was about mid-40s. A person could expect in the year 1900, 45, somewhere in there, 47. I mean, that was average life expectancy in the year 1900. That wasn't all that long ago, but the greatest improvements came about, as you well know, better than I, from better management of infectious diseases, better drugs, better sanitation methods, and the lowering of infant mortality. Those were some of the major factors that contributed to longevity, right?
Well, the biggest factor, actually, in the early 1900s was sanitation.
Exactly.
Providing clean water. And that's what made the hugest increase in longevity in the United States. And then once vaccines came along after World War II, that was another leap, but not nearly as significant as the sanitation issues.
It's amazing. It does get misleading when we talk about longevity. And I switched my focus rather than, yes, it's great to live a long life and to be long-lived. But to be long-lived with an abundance of morbidity, I think, being sick and in pain and lingering for many years, some people for 10, 15, even 20 years sick, but living a long time because medical science is keeping them alive, that's a hell of a way to live, I think.
I'm not sure it is. But what was interesting is the two different studies that you brought up. You didn't say it, but I think it's pretty much implied, is they're very, very much connected. And so when you're talking about longevity and quality of life and so on, it really does get down to what are we doing right and what are we doing wrong. And I think you absolutely nailed it. It's not about the calories and it's not about the quality of food. It's about both.
It's about both.
We've become victims of our own success. We could put a man on the moon, but yet we haven't been able to come up with a pill to make 30 pounds drop off by tomorrow. I mean, so we get in that kind of mentality, and we don't want to do the work and the ongoing daily things that we need to do, good nutrition, regular exercise, to handle the obesity epidemic that we're facing.
Yeah, and it's been a perplexing problem, And
I don't think it's perplexing. I think we're just not doing the work that we should be doing to keep the weight off.
What?
We've gotten lazy. We're sitting behind the Xbox and the computer and the office desk, and we're not out and active like we used to be 50, 100 years ago.
Yeah, what I mean by perplexing, it's become perplexing for health professionals to do exactly what you're suggesting, to get people, to help them change their behavior, to persuade them, to convince them to try and do better with their diet and lifestyle. And I often say on the show, if you want to turn the tide of the obesity epidemic, you will not treat your way out of that epidemic. You have to teach your way out of it. And
Absolutely.
And the target, believe it or not, from most of what I've read, experts seem to agree on this point. You may disagree. We'll see. They believe that the target audience to begin to turn the tide on the obesity epidemic would be healthy young children. That's who you target. And then people get upset when you say that because they say, well, what about the kids that are already overweight and obese? What about the adults that are overweight and obese? You're not going to treat them? Certainly you're going to treat them, but you will not have a rate of success that will turn with those two populations that will turn the tide of the obesity epidemic. It's those healthy young kids that you're going to teach that will then stay healthy, will teach their children, and so on and so on. It'll take decades to turn this around.
I completely agree. I think that we may get more of a bump from a great Women's World Soccer Cup and influencing young girls to be out on the soccer field and being, out there getting regular exercise. That may have a bigger effect than anything else that we ever even consider.
I know. And, it's, you're pretty well, your background and your training is pretty formidable. I mean, you've had some of the best education, some of the best teachers, and you know darn well physicians are well-intentioned. Everybody wants to, throw the doctor under the bus and this and that, and they do their best. One of the things that I think is missing in their training, not that they don't have anything else to do, right? But I think one of the one piece that's missing is they're not instructed and taught in how to get the patient to change the behavior. It's one thing to say, you got to quit smoking, Bob. You got to quit eating all those burgers, fries, and hot dogs and quit drinking beer and smoking. The question is, how do you get Bob to do that? And doctors, they don't, psychologists and psychiatrists know a lot about that, but a physician that's in clinical practice, one, that probably doesn't have the time, and two, maybe not to know how to do that. It's not necessarily their fault. I'm just saying it's...
How do you change the culture of America? That's what you got to get to.
Right. And I talked about that. Funny you mention that. I talked about that yesterday. The food culture in our country is such that it sets people up early in life for nutritional failure and health failure. That's just a fact. So we'll come back. We'll talk with Dr. Lewis. By the way, Dr. Lewis is president of the Brain Health Education and Research Institute that he founded in late 2011. He retired from the military as a colonel, low achiever. In 2011, went to West Point, spent 31 distinguished career years in the U.S. Army. We'll get him to talk a little bit about that and with whom he consults.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Hi, I'm Jordan Rubin, founder and CEO of Garden of Life. Oceans 3 was created with a simple premise in mind: develop a line of premium omega-3 fish oil formulations that met or exceeded the market leader in quality, and then go beyond omega-3 by providing amplified benefits and value to the consumer. Oceans 3 contains ultra-pure, high-potency fish oil, along with astaxanthin and fucoxanthin. Each of these ingredients, when taken individually, have superb benefits. When they are combined into the exciting compound omega-xanthin, they work synergistically to amplify their already amazing benefits. In addition to the synergy of omega-xanthin, Oceans 3 offers unrivaled purity and greater value than the leading omega-3 fish oils available today, making the Oceans 3 family of products the best choice for anyone looking to add a healthy dose of omega-3 fats and a giant dose of extraordinary health to their lives.
As a family-owned company since 1968, Now Foods has spent the last 46 years building a legacy in the natural health industry as a trusted leader. Now provides a comprehensive approach to wellness by offering more than 1,400 high-quality health foods, supplements, sports nutrition, and personal care products at an affordable price. Now believes that natural is better. They don't use artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, and they offer many vegetarian, organic, and gluten-free products. Their foods are all non-GMO. Since their beginning, Now has grown to become an award-winning leader in the natural health industry. But one thing has never changed: their commitment to providing the highest quality products at the best value to empower people to lead healthier lives. High quality doesn't have to mean high price. From essential oils to amino acids, multivitamins to natural sweeteners, Now has you covered. To find a store near you that carries Now products, or for more information, visit nowfoods.com. That's nowfoods.com.
Is your skin showing signs of aging? Do you want hair with more body and stronger nails? Add NeoCell's Super Collagen Plus C to your daily routine to help you regain your youthful, vibrant appearance. Collagen is the body's key structural protein, and it is critical to the elasticity and strength of connective tissues like skin, ligaments, and tendons. Recent clinical studies suggest that supplementing with collagen may reduce wrinkles and increase the firmness of your skin, improve the thickness of your hair, and strengthen your nails. Previously, medical studies also show a wide range of benefits from collagen supplements that may help with your joint pain, bone strength, and exercise recovery. NeoCell's Super Collagen Plus C provides 100% pure collagen that's hydrolyzed for maximum absorption. Results are felt and seen within weeks. Super Collagen Plus C promotes a healthy body by providing specialized nutritional support to help fight the effects of aging. NeoCell's Super Collagen Plus C products are available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Cannavest, from seed to shelf. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Thank you very much for tuning in today. My guest is Dr. Michael Lewis. And Dr. Lewis, are you still in private practice in Bethesda, Maryland, or no?
Well, that's actually in the changing a little bit. I've decided to team up with a sports medicine clinic, and I'm opening up a concussion clinic in conjunction with them, currently in the Silver Spring, Maryland area. And we're opening up a second office in Rockville, Gaithersburg area, just a little bit around the Beltway.
Okay.
So I'll be implementing some of the treatment protocols and cutting-edge diagnostics that I've been working with and studying for the last couple of years, and start helping people one-on-one, as in addition to the nonprofit stuff that I've been doing.
Good. Very good. And do you still consult for the U.S. Army and Navy?
I do. I've got some product development work going with the Army, and I actually do some infectious disease work with the Navy that is kind of left over from a few years ago that I continue to keep my hand in.
Good. So you're not sitting around drinking pina coladas. You're busy.
Probably more coffee than anything.
Well, watch out for your adrenals. So I got to ask you, what do you make of all this business about? How can I frame this so that I don't mislead people? The medical marijuana and CBD and all of that. What do you make of this generally? What do you think is going on across the country? It seems that attitudes are changing about that particular plant. You have marijuana plant, then you also have hemp. Hemp's been around a long time. We've talked about that on the show, but I'm just curious as to what your observation is from a sociological perspective, perhaps, what you think is going on across the country with all of this.
Well, sociologically, I think it's rather fascinating. I have absolutely no background in that, but I'll throw in a comment anyway. I think sociologically, I think people have just come to realize that, and this is not from personal experience at all, actually, that marijuana is maybe not so terrible as the U.S. government has been trying to tell us since it was made a Schedule I drug in 1970 by the Nixon administration. And it's kind of fascinating as you learn a little bit more about it, and that it was a lot of, I'm guessing, maybe a lot of overreaction to the turmoil of the late 60s, and that marijuana got associated with that turmoil and the anti-Vietnam protests and so on. So I think that the administration at the time basically took a very hardline stance and created the war on drugs, which has in many instances failed and caused a lot of issues. I think a lot of the things that we're seeing, and the whole Ferguson, the whole Baltimore situation earlier this year, in some ways all gets back to very similar origins, and that 75% of or so, I don't quote me on the statistics, that drug arrests are due to marijuana. It's overburdened our prison systems. But prisons have become big business, just like any other thing. And so it's kind of hard to turn that ship when executives and companies are going to lose huge contracts if we start emptying the prisons because of decriminalizing marijuana.
It's crazy. It's such a complicated history with marijuana and cannabis, and you got these two plants. You got marijuana plant at the marijuana plant, and then you have hemp. They're certainly related, but they're different plants, and the way the scientists have now bred these plants, they're different than they were a couple of 100 years ago. So nevertheless, we got this. It's an interesting kind of movement going across the country. For better and for worse of it. Well, I don't know how it all will turn out in the end. We'll have to wait and see. But I am interested in your opinion about the legitimacy of medical marijuana. Do you think that the promise of medical marijuana is what some are suggesting that it is?
Well, I think that there's the potential for it, and which is going to, if you really want to make a better argument, you have to get a little bit down into the science, and I don't know how far you want to go into that, but it's really, in very basic terms, the human body has cannabinoid receptors, and we make cannabinoids ourselves. They're called endocannabinoids, and they have some great reasons for being. And when we're talking about medical marijuana or CBD or hemp, they're called phytocannabinoids because they come from plants, and they interact with the same receptors that our own endogenous, our own self-made cannabinoids or endocannabinoids do. And some of it is responsible for, I'll call it getting high, and some of it is responsible for happiness or related or influences it. So, for example, a runner's high that people hear about and maybe have experienced is very much a chemical reaction that occurs in the brain. And then if you go and smoke marijuana, you can have a similar, maybe not exactly, I wouldn't know actually personally myself, but you can get a similar feeling from the phytocannabinoid side that is interacting with those exact same receptors in the brain that God gave us to begin with.
Mm-hmm. This is all very interesting. We'll try to unpack this a little bit more and try to make sense of it and try to sort out what would seem to be the legitimate claims about these compounds, CBD, cannabidiol, and so on, and what the promise really is. In a National Geographic article, they point out that in Siberia, they found charred seeds inside burial mounds dating back to 3000 BC. And they commented in the piece that Chinese were using cannabis as a medicine thousands of years ago. And that marijuana is ingrained in our culture as well. People such as, George Washington, he grew hemp at Mount Vernon, and you have others. So cannabis has been a real part of our culture and other cultures for a very, very long time. We'll be back.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation for when you don't. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today. My guest is Dr. Michael Lewis, and there's an interesting company out there called Cannavest, Cannavest. And Stuart Tomk is the heads up the nutrition division of Cannavest, and he's usually on talking as a spokesperson for the company, an educator. Dr. Michael Lewis is doing the same. You're on the board. Are you on the board on the medical board for Cannavest, Dr. Lewis?
I am.
Okay.
I was with Stuart. I met him through the omega-3 industry, and had the pleasure of working with him for roughly about 5 years or so, and we just hit it off. We became really good friends, and when he left the omega-3 industry and went over to Cannavest, he dragged me with him. Not so much dragging, but I'll follow Stuart anywhere. He's a fantastic guy. Everything he does is absolutely first class, above board. Completely, his absolute most important mission is that he's out to do everything with the utmost highest quality, and no matter what he does. So. Absolutely,
he's a personal friend and colleague of mine as well for many years, 10 years, and this is an interesting company, and there's a trend going across the country. Many of you are aware of it. And the theme is medical marijuana. Now, Cannavest as a company is not engaged in medical marijuana. Cannavest is interested in hemp-derived cannabidiol, CBD oil. And there's, as we pointed out on other shows, a lot of confusion between these between hemp and marijuana. It turns out agricultural hemp and medical marijuana both come from the Cannabis sativa plant. Agricultural hemp, which is often referred to as hemp stock, grows differently than THC-containing cannabis and looks similar to bamboo. So it's interesting how this confusion comes about. Nevertheless, there is now a body of work developing looking at cannabidiol, CBD, and CBD oil as derived from hemp and its medicinal properties and what promise it may hold in the future and now for people and their health. So this is an interesting kind of trend. Now, I know there's a lot going on in Denver and these other states where marijuana has been legalized. This has nothing to do whatsoever with what Stuart Tomk and Dr. Lewis and the good people at Cannavest are doing. It's related only phytochemically, I guess, these chemicals and the plants, but other than that, these are different. These are different. They're very, very different, and it's hard to disabuse people of all of that. Nevertheless, wanted to talk with Dr. Lewis today about cannabidiol as it's derived from hemp. And you've taken a pretty close look at that compound, right, Dr. Lewis?
I have, both scientifically, and I've started to use it with a couple of patients. Now, as your listeners may know, and certainly you do, I've been dealing with traumatic brain injury and concussions for the last 7-8 years. Initially looking at the use of omega-3s for the military in traumatic brain injury. And interestingly enough, I'll tie these two together because one of the things that, as you get deeper into the science, is those cannabinoid receptors in the brain, for example. When I talked about endogenous substances, chemicals that interact with those receptors that bring us happiness and that runner's high and that type of thing, those endocannabinoids are actually derived from omega-3s for the most part. So there's a great connection between all of this, and so I've actually been looking clinically at the use of CBD or cannabidiol from hemp, and how it may help with some of my more stubborn, I'll call them stubborn patients, the ones that continue to have issues after concussion, sometimes even years after the concussion, and depression, anxiety, and even pain. CBD oil has been incredibly helpful along those lines in particular.
It's interesting. Do you have patients who were in the military and experienced concussions from combat, and have you treated any of those kinds of patients with CBD to date?
I have not to date. Certainly because of the potential for CBD oils to have a trace amounts of THC, it's not particularly well suited for use in the military population. Now, THC is actually will be found in urine, and so one of the things that, of course, militaries, they do random drug testing, and so
I see.
If you come up positive with THC because you took too much CBD, that would be a bit of an issue for somebody. But in reality, there's very little to no THC in CBD oil at all.
Right. There's some trace amounts, but not enough that would be of any significance to alter, a person's psychologically, emotionally, in other words, to get them high. That's not going to happen. So the patients with whom you have worked and administered some CBD to them, what can you report about that?
Well, I think I mentioned this on the last show, and it was right at the end, and so we didn't really have time to go into it. I told you I would, like you, I sometimes get into telling stories as a way of making a point. And you remember, I'm sure, the case of Bobby, the teenager who was in a really bad car accident about 5 years ago. And he was treated specifically with very high doses of omega-3s, and subsequently, when the doctors had told the parents to pull the plug, the kid's not going to make it, he ended up going to his high school graduation about 3 months after the accident.
You treated him. You treated him.
And, well, I advised on it.
I see.
I gave the doses to the neurosurgeon, discussed it with the neurosurgeon, and they, luckily, for the patient and for the family, they used my advice, and we reported it as a case reported in the scientific literature, and it's really still, actually to this day, the only case reported of traumatic brain injury where the use of omega-3s, high-dose omega-3s, has been documented.
Okay.
And so anyway, I don't know if we need to take a break, but so you can jump in and just cut me off when you need to, but Bobby he's suffered, he had a traumatic brain injury 5 years ago, and he's done incredibly well on omega-3s. He's now a full-time college student. He works 2 part-time jobs, But his ability to function, he's got some one-sided weakness from the brain injury, but he's obviously doing well enough that he's in college and working. And he's had some issues with anxiety, with depression, for the most part. And I introduced him to CBD about 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay, save your thought. And when we come back, we'll find out what happens to Bobby after he's administered some CBD oil. And this is a very interesting story. I know some about it. I'm going to learn more, just as you will, in a moment. Dr. Michael Lewis is my guest. When we get back, we'll also go to Tony in Guilford, North Carolina.
Exclusively from Natural Factors.
I'm Dr. Michael Murray. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you about PGX, a truly revolutionary natural product that works perfectly to help get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult. PGX is a clinically proven way to help people to achieve their ideal body weight that is safe and natural. PGX leads to a dramatic reduction in the glycemic index of any food or meal. It also ultimately causes the release of compounds that achieve two important goals in weight loss. One, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and two, improving the action of the hormone insulin. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, it's not your fault. You just need the tremendous support that PGX can provide. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, please go to pgx.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit Kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
Is your fish oil wildly pure? New Chapter is proud to offer a whole food approach to fish oil, Whole Mega. Naturally pure 100% wild-caught salmon comes from the pristine waters of Alaska. Like extra virgin olive oil, the fresh-caught salmon for Whole Mega is pressed immediately after harvest. And that's all that's needed to deliver wild Alaskan salmon's whole complement of vital omega fatty acids. These omegas support your heart health. 1 serving of Whole Mega per day, 2 grams, has been clinically shown to help retain healthy triglyceride levels and to improve the omega-3 index, a studied marker of heart health. And did you know experts recommend consuming 2 to 3 servings of fish per week? So 1 week of Whole Mega delivers the omegas of 3 servings of wild Alaskan salmon. Discover the New Chapter difference, wildly pure Whole Mega. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Available at your local fine health food store.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nutrix Hawaii. More nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Now Foods. Our products work. Garden of Life, empowering extraordinary health. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Flexin, the joint health experts. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Turns out that CBD, cannabidiol, is this a promising non-psychoactive botanical extract that is derived from agricultural industrial hemp and has been now recognized in the literature, scientific literature, by some, very credible people as conferring benefits to human health. And if you go to PubMed, which is a free online database, that database is created by the U.S. National Library of Medicine for the National Institutes of Health, you're going to discover important information and studies about CBD, which is Dr. Lewis, my guest, Michael Lewis, pointed out it's a phytocannabinoid with therapeutic properties for a number of different kinds of disorders. We'll try to get Dr. Lewis to talk about it. He was specifically talking about its application for in cases where people have suffered a concussion. And he's telling the story about a patient, Bobby, who had suffered a severe concussion in an automobile accident, was then treated with high doses of omega-3 fatty acids. And then now, come fast forward, there's more to the story. Most had given up on Bobby, and when they started to administer these high doses of omega-3, you heard Dr. Lewis talk about how he is now going to school, has 2 part-time jobs. But there's more to the story, and then we'll go to Tony in North Carolina. Go ahead and finish your story, Dr. Lewis.
Thanks, Dr. Garko. It was really interesting. So I introduced Cannavest and CBD oil to Bobby about 2 or 3 months ago, and a couple weeks after he started, I got a call from his father. I was first a little bit concerned, but his father just finally blurted out. He said, "This has been a game changer, a life-changing a thing that has happened to Bobby." And he goes, "Here, let me put Bobby on the phone himself." And Bobby gets on the phone, and he starts to tell me he had been on antidepressants because many people that have had a severe traumatic brain injury suffer for a variety of reasons from anxiety and depression. Part of it is because you take a healthy 18-year-old kid, now he's 22, 23, and he's not as healthy. He can't do the things that he knew he could do as a teenager. So the psychological aspects of following such a devastating injury can be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby had been able, in the just 2-3 weeks of being on CBD, had stopped taking his antidepressants. Says he's never been happier. And the funniest story is he goes, "My anxiety is completely gone." He goes, "So much so that I actually asked a girl for her phone number." And so he was awfully excited that he didn't have the social anxieties of being somebody walking with a cane or with a walker and having this devastating injury, and he felt just fine asking a girl for his phone number, which is really important to him. He comes from a culture that very much values family and marriage.
Sure.
And then a couple weeks following that, he called me back, and he was even more excited in that he said, for the first time ever since his accident 5 years ago, that at physical therapy he walked across the entire room without any aid at all, without a cane, without a walker or anything. And I actually attribute that probably more to the anxiety than the physical. He wasn't afraid to try it, and he wasn't afraid to fail if that was what was going to happen.
That's
but
interesting.
it has completely changed his life around.
Wow. That's compelling. We'll come back. I'm going to take a call because Tony's been holding. And I want to ask you a little bit more about that story. Let's go to Guilford, North Carolina. Tony, welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for holding.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that you were talking earlier about the marijuana and relating to, I guess, the prison population, and I want to also relate that to with how everything is always followed behind money. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and being from up that way, everything is always related to money. And that's how the world runs in the first place.
It's not only in Baltimore. It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in Birmingham.
Everywhere.
Wherever. Go ahead.
And I I think that unfortunate what's happening with, I was speaking of as far as money is concerned, everything always goes with that. You got these drug manufacturers out there that's giving these people, giving people these drugs that are really doing more damage than good.
Oftentimes, yeah.
Yes, and then you have other alternatives, like what your guest is talking about, and then as far as like depression, you have 5-HTP with vitamin B6
Sure.
helps a lot with that.
Sure.
And then you have rhodiola and SAMe and others is out there, and then you have so many other alternatives out there. But
Sure.
going back to what I said about the money part, as long as these drug pharmacies can get into the government's pocket, and as far as making sure that their products is being seen, making sure that no products is being discontinued from the market.
Well, there's an interesting relationship, and it's one of the more unusual relationships between government and private industry, and that is the FDA and its function, its structure, and its function, to borrow a term from physiology, its structure and function, and regulating the pharmaceutical industry. That's an interesting, dynamic relationship, and that is scrutinized, talked about, criticized, and whatnot. And I hear what you're saying. And Dr. Lewis has a lot of experience with treating patients, and he understands the use of drugs and so on. But when we come back, I'll finish that, put a point on that point, and then have you comment some more.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Over the past 60 years, I have prescribed and been introduced to countless health therapies from around the world. I formulated Medici Plus, a natural remedy with high amounts of vitamin C and lysine for maintaining strong bones, cartilage, teeth, and gums, and aiding in collagen formation. Now in my 90s, Medici Plus is my insurance for the maintenance of good health. Make Medici Plus a part of your daily health routine too.
Available at health food stores and specialty pharmacies.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit TakeSolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Renew Life, the digestive care company. NeoCell, the true science of collagen. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
And we're back, and welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening and watching, and whatever you may be doing. 877-897-8255. That's a toll-free number. Please feel free to call, just like Tony did from North Carolina. And Tony was making a point about when money gets implicated in medical enterprise, things sometimes can go haywire, and it's. His point's well taken. I understand what he's saying in this business about pharmaceutical companies. It's sort of been my custom and practice on this show. I don't go after pharmaceutical companies and attack them at every bend and turn. My thoughts about pharmaceuticals are that they are necessary and they are dangerous at times. And you make a deal with the devil. But if you were tomorrow to ban the manufacture of pharmaceuticals, believe you me, there would be a lot of chaos and a lot of suffering and a lot of death. True, drugs are responsible for the deaths of many people each year, annually. The statistic is startling, that number. I don't know the exact number. It's quite a few. I understand that. But that's why you need to be in charge. I say this all the time. Take charge of your health. Do not subcontract your health out to others. Just because a doctor prescribes something, you just don't take it. You go and do the research, and if the doctor hasn't explained, which he or she should, what the risk factors are, what the side effects are, then you need to find out for yourself and then make a judgment as to whether or not you want to take it. Welcome back, Dr. Lewis. So going with back to Bobby, I was reading that the CBD, there's been some experiments with mice, preclinical studies involving mice, and they've shown that, without getting too complicated here, that the activation of certain pathways will reduce panic and anxiety, or that the stress response, the fight or flight response. Do you think that's what's going on here with Bobby and the CBD?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's well, not exactly, but I mean, I think that's a good summary of to explain what's going on, and that we've got the interaction with the cannabinoid receptors both in the brain and throughout the body's nervous system, and that when you have that, just like I said, with the interaction with that causes a runner's high with the endocannabinoids and so on, that I think that you get a similar response with the phytocannabinoids, and it decreases, and it's pretty well shown, and my experience now is starting to bear that out as well, that the anxiety levels can be dramatically improved with the interaction with the use of CBD.
What am I producing?
It's not obviously just Bobby. It's been several patients. So
sure enough, one of my producers was asking me, what are there other health benefits potential health benefits associated with cannabidiol as derived from industrial hemp?
Well, there's a couple of areas. One is, obviously, as we're talking about, anxiety, depression, as I briefly mentioned with Bobby. But a third one that's really kind of interesting is chronic pain. I've got a quick story about a retired Navy guy who had such bad knee pain that he was no longer able to exercise. And a young guy in his early 40s, and he wasn't able to exercise anymore. And he had been evaluated, tried everything from ibuprofen to opioids and so on, different prescriptions and on and on and on, and wasn't getting enough pain relief to be able to exercise. and just an incredibly small dose of CBD from Cannavest, he was actually, within 2-3 days, or certainly within a week, was able to start exercising. He takes a small dose every morning, and most of the time doesn't even need a second dose later in the day, and his knee pain has completely disappeared, and he's been able to get back to exercising.
Wow. So, I don't know. I guess maybe there'll come a time when this compound will be more used in clinical practice, more available to patients, and so on, as doctors become more educated, as you have, about its potential in these areas that you are laying out and citing and describing. This is the early stage of this particular concept and its evolution. We are watching something evolve right before our eyes. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out socially, culturally, legally, medically, ethically, and so on, right?
Well, absolutely. And people will criticize me and others for telling these stories. These are just case reports. But that's how it all starts. That's once we learn that, hey, it seems to be working, then we start to dig in a little bit more. We start to see how many other cases are out there like that. And then we evolve down the line into, well, then researchers start to pick it up and start to look at it in more detail and more scientifically, and then ultimately, hopefully with placebo-controlled clinical trials. And so while people may criticize the work that I'm doing or telling stories that, hey, well, Bobby's just one case, and so on, that's how it all starts. That's how science starts. And we'll eventually get down into the more detail of science, but you've got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And what we're talking about is cannabidiol, as it's grown and manufactured by Cannavest. You should go to their website. Cannavest is spelled Cannavest, Cannavest, and they have a number of different products that are now sold in health stores. The cannabidiol oil sold in health stores throughout the United States. And again, I remind you, this is not medical marijuana. It has nothing to do with medical marijuana. It has something to do with cannabidiol derived from industrial hemp. And be mindful that hemp is one of the earliest known domesticated plants. And it's been grown, cultivated in civilizations for, 12,000 years or so? This is nothing new. And agricultural hemp, as I pointed out earlier, is derived from Cannabis sativa L, that plant. And agricultural hemp, as I said earlier, is referred to as hemp stock, and it's different than the THC-containing cannabis that you find in the marijuana plant. And this is a very provocative, interesting arena. And there's like 25,000 globally products that are made from hemp. But you know what? Only under certain conditions can a farmer grow hemp in the United States. Are you serious?
Aloha, I'm with pro triathlete Tim Marr. Tim, why is Bioastin an important part of your training?
Bioastin is the strongest natural antioxidant fighting inflammation associated with hard training. It helps me get up day to day and put in the hard work without feeling sore and fatigued. I bounce back quicker and stronger. It also helps fight the elements from sun exposure, which is unavoidable when training for a triathlon.
Thanks, Tim. Make Bioastin a part of your active and healthy lifestyle today. Aloha, Tim Marr. As a professional triathlete, training is important. How does Bioastin help?
In triathlons, the last leg is always the run, which creates extra stress in the body because of all the tired pounding on pavement. Bioastin's main ingredient is astaxanthin, which fights free radical damage in the body while fighting oxidation. With high volume and long hours of training, recovery is such an important aspect, and Bioastin helps me achieve a top-level performance.
Thanks, Tim. Make Bioastin a part of your active and healthy lifestyle today.
At Nordic Naturals, we know that a commitment to deliver the world's safest, most effective omega oils requires an exceptional process. That's why we manage every step of production, from boat to bottle. That includes sustainably sourcing wild-caught fish from well-managed fisheries. It means using state-of-the-art equipment and technology at our manufacturing plant in Arctic Norway. Nordic Naturals bottles and encapsulates our omega-3s at our own facility and carefully ships products from our eco-friendly headquarters in California. The result? Nordic Naturals products have received more than 40 awards for taste, innovation, and product excellence. You can trust the quality of Nordic Naturals products and know you're getting all the health benefits omega-3 fish oils offer. Nordic Naturals' high-quality, great-tasting omega-3s make staying healthy easier for you and your family. When choosing an omega-3 fish oil product, choose the #1 fish oil in the U.S. Choose Nordic Naturals. Available at natural product retailers or online at nordicnaturals.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Michael Garko. Did you know that over 20 million people in the United States suffer from some form of joint pain? If you have joint or muscle pain, Flexin can help. Good joints are an essential part of everyday life, and the lack of healthy joints can prevent you from enjoying daily activities and rob you of a better quality of life. Flexin is specially formulated with CM8 to provide the pain relief and support your joints need. Flexin CM8 is designed to lubricate your joints and muscles while reducing inflammation and supporting stronger cartilage. Flexin isn't just another glucosamine supplement, it's much more. Its extraordinary formula is composed of powerful ingredients and a special blend of enzymes that make digestion and absorption fast and easy, with results in as little as 1 week. So if you want to enjoy everyday activities again and improve your quality of life, look no further than Flexin. For more information, call 1-800-NPAIN. That's 1-800-NPAIN, or visit your local fine health food store and pick up a bottle of Flexin today.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Cannavest, from seed to shelf. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. NZ Medica, the enzyme experts. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. We're talking with Dr. Michael Lewis about cannabidiol as it's derived from hemp, industrial hemp. And I was giving you some facts about hemp a moment ago. So here's the question. as a domesticated plant, how long has hemp been cultivated? Has it been cultivated for 120 years, 1,200 years, or 12,000 years? For how long has hemp been cultivated as a domesticated plant? 120 years, 1,200 years, or 12,000 years? 877-897-8255. 877-897-8255. Welcome back, Dr. Lewis.
Thanks, Dr. Cargo.
Have you taken the product?
I have. In fact, I take it every evening, a small dose every evening, and I'm pretty convinced that it helps me with sleep and just sort of that chronic low back pain that you get from 30 years in the Army and jumping out of airplanes and things like that.
So you take, and which product do you take?
I take the Cannavest has an oil that they basically it's in a liquid bottle. It's kind of like a squirt.
Mm-hmm.
They call it a spray, but it's really more of a squirt, and I do a couple of squirts under my tongue, let it sit there for a minute or so, and then swallow it.
Mm-hmm. Right before you go to, is that before you go to bed?
Right before I go to bed. And it's interesting. CBD is one of those things that what I found is it's the opposite of many other things. Like with as we've talked about in previous shows, with omega-3s, I tend towards really high doses because I think, when we've talked about the nutritional status and omega-6s and all this and all that.
Right.
And so I find that with high doses of omega-3s, you can really make a big difference in somebody's life. With CBD, what I'm starting to find out is actually smaller doses tend to be more powerful than the larger doses. So
less is better.
Such a new area that we're just really exploring. We don't really know the best doses for people. That's how new the science is. How new the whole realm of this is we're just starting to try to figure out what are the right doses for people.
Mm-hmm. And if you go to Cannavest, Cannavest.com, you will see there are a number of different, click on products, you'll see there's even a CBD oil balm, there's a CBD oil spray, they have the CBD oil capsules, and some other products. When Stuart has been on, he talked about those products. I didn't want to get too much into that today with Dr. Lewis. I wanted to talk about the use of it in the clinical setting, the science and that part of the narrative. And this is an interesting compound. There's going to be much, much more to learn. This is the early part. What you'll be watching and what you'll be learning is how this is going to, how the actual evolution. It's rare that you get a chance to see that happen, and this is one of those instances where, as I said, we're going to see it evolve in many different ways, politically, medically, and all the other ways, socially, ethically. I mean, it's going to take a number of twists and turns and whatnot. It'll be interesting to watch. And then, of course, medically, medicinally, how it's going to unfold. Let's go to Tampa, Florida, and talk to Riley. Riley, welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
We're all fine as far as I can tell. We're doing okay around here. And I know Dr. Lewis he's in pretty good shape. My producers look reasonably awake and healthy, so we're doing okay. Thanks for asking. Before you give me an answer to this question today, and I'll give you a hint to help you. What do you make of this business of CBD oil and hemp and so on? What do you make of all that as we hear us talk about it?
I think it's great. I mean, it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah. Do you get confused with the narrative on medical marijuana and CBD oil? Is it somewhat confusing?
No.
You're able to sort it out?
Yeah, I can actually, decipher the difference and and this is the good part of it,
Right. Yeah, and, the scientists are, and I suspect that there are scientists that are doing, they're doing work with medical marijuana itself. And CBD is in medical marijuana, right, Dr. Lewis?
It is. And interestingly, it's thought that the CBD part is what's been so effective in helping with epilepsy. There's some great studies how it's helped with epilepsy, and it's thought to be really the CBD that's helping with that.
Now, some people can't have access to the CBD that's found in medical marijuana, but you can have access to the CBD compound as it's found in hemp, and now you can even buy it in a health store and in the form of Cannavest products. So this is all very promising. Now, here's a hint about this question, Riley, and I was asking, how long as a domesticated plant has CBD been cultivated by civilizations? And I can tell you it's been for a very long time. So is it 120 years, 1,200 years, or 12,000 years?
12,000 years.
Yeah, believe it or not, 12,000 years. What's ironic about all of this, and I think that this will change, that only under certain conditions can hemp be grown in the United States. Farmers can't grow it, which is unbelievable to me, but go ahead.
Can I ask y'all a quick question? I have early dementia in one of my family members.
Yes.
Is this going to help them, you think?
That's an interesting question. What do you think, Dr. Lewis?
It's not going to hurt them. I'm not going to go out on a limb to say it'll help, but it will not hurt them. And I'd be interested to hear your experience. And so my only real guiding thing is give it a try and try to document it as best as you can. And if you give me some feedback, that's going to help us move that scientific ball further down the road.
So you just try, and you always talk with your doctor before you do anything like that. So congratulations. You won a $25 supplement gift card, Riley. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for playing the LTN Health Game for the day. Thank you. Dr. Lewis, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Take Cannavest products. Why? Because your health is your wealth.
Still looking for the fountain of youth? It's Zinnia. Look no further.